Hi class, it's Miss Pebworth. This is a book called Sofia Valdez, Future Prez. And this is a really important book about a girl who wants to make the world a better place. So in this book, she works on seeing if she could change some garbage piles, a garbage dump into a park. What I want you to think about as we listen to this story is I want you to think about maybe your project isn't to clean up garbage and turn it into a city park. Maybe it's a different way to make the world better. And I want you to see what she does when she has an idea, what she does with the idea, all the steps she does to make that idea happen, and how she works through the process to be a leader in her community and to make the world a better place, even as a second grader. So think about, maybe your project isn't making a new park, but what is your project? What do you want to do to make your area a better place? And what can you do, even as a kid, to make the world a better place around you? How will you be a leader and make our world, your world, better? Sofia Valdez, Future Prez. Sofia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1. She and Abuelo went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek who couldn't get out and about on their own and with no place to gather and were stuck home alone. Raking the leaves, taking pets for walks, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk, Sofia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends and her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sofia liked better. She saw the world around her, her neighbors, her family, the street by her house, and she made them all better. That's what she did. This is a fun page. Okay. Each morning, Abuelo walked Sofia to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl. Except for that Tuesday when Pup saw the squirrel. With a yowl, Pup took off, racing through town. Over, under, beneath, all around. Sofia scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing Pup. So there's Abuelo, her grandpa, and there's the Pup, and there's the squirrel it's chasing, and Sophie is chasing them all. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill, made of leftover junk for the local landfill. They reached the top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with an ear-splitting crash. Down they tumbled on a moldy old pumpkin surrounded by mud. Ouch! Cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand. Hurt his ankle. The next day, Sofia walked to school solo. That means alone. But it wasn't the same without her abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sofia, who glared at Mount Trashmore and got an idea. She saw the problem and tried to think of a solution. The very next morning at 6:30 dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. Can you read it? Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park. So she started with advertising her idea. Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play, meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought on the map of her park, which was perfectly perfect by 1:15 dark. So after advertising it, she got ideas from her neighbors and people around. She drifted to sleep in her soft, cozy bed. And then, bam, she woke up with a thought smacked her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sofia could build it alone. But how could one girl do so much on her own? So her neighbors had ideas they gave her, but they didn't actually want to do the work. They said, "Yeah, let us know when it's done. Good job." The weight of the thought made her tender heart ache as the night thunder growled and she laid wide awake. And then dawn brought a storm and the gloomy sky wept and the heartsick Sofia finally slept. She's really overwhelmed because they think that she needs to do it all by herself. Abuelo baked cookies when Sophie got up. He gave her a bag full and sneaked one to Pup. He blinked back a tear as he hugged his Sofia. For courage, he whispered. Te amo, mi vida. Sofia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle, and she quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sofia Valdez went to face City Hall. It's where the people work for the government. The people that run the city work there. We've been to City Hall, Benita. So look at this picture. The picture says a lot here. Here she is, feeling very little in front of a big City Hall. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the Office of Duck Ponds and Cool Things to Do, to the Office of Monkeys, the Department of Cheese, the Division of Fountains and Maidens and Bees, then down to the basement, which was musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did. You can't build a new park. You're only a kid. The words smacked Sofia deep down in her heart. Her plan was kiboshed before it could even start. I think, said Sofia, I think the law's wrong. But her second grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, clearly it cannot be done. Do you have any questions? Sofia said, one. If you were me and if I were you and he was your grandpa, what would you do? Well, said the clerk, and then she said nothing at all. She thought, and then she sent out a call to every employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sofia speak. But her words jumbled up and her cheeks turned bright red as dozens of emotions rushed through her head. Her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer and Sofia leaned back. Then her arm brushed the edge of an old cookie sack. And that was the moment Sofia first knew. Being brave meant doing the thing that you must do. Though your heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2, she took a deep breath. She looked the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sofia started talking. She spelled out her plan and why it all mattered and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meeting spots and monkeys and places to play and other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two. And all right, cried the mayor, go start a petition. If the town wants a new park, we'll form a commission. And so young Sofia got right to work with some help from her family and Pup and the clerk. Then others joined in, not all, but a few, like Miss Lila Greer and the kids in grade 2. There were hearings and surveys and taxes to figure out, then bulldozers and cranes and a blue bigger digger. They all built that park, and that's how it got done, with the hard work of, by, and for everyone. But it began with the dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes, then led the way to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now every evening till long before dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They all hold this true to be self-evident. that Sofia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sofia, that real-life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek get better and better. So for now, she's keep helping her community. It reminds me a lot of you. You guys have good ideas about how to make the world a better place. So think of an idea about how to make your neighborhood, your town, your house, your street a better place, the world. Think about one idea. And then it's a lot of work to follow through that idea, but you can do hard things. You can do hard work. So think about how you can be like Sofia Valdez and make the world a better place by leading the way and taking that idea forward. So think about your great idea. It's coming. If you haven't figured it out yet, you will soon. So be open to it, and then be ready to work hard to follow through on your great idea, because you guys can do it and you can make the world a better place. I can't wait to see what you do. Bye, guys.